I'm Eva Oh, and this is the Teakink podcast. I've been a dominatrix since 2011, and I would like to spill the tea on my life. Thank you for listening.
Hi there. First of all, I'm really grateful for this podcast and how it helped me find my inner Dom. But let's get to the story. So I think it's about letting your inner child out when you play and also having fun with it. This week I met a guy the second time and we did some shibari. I tied his upper body up and also his feet and put an eye mask on him. And he was laying there. We did some impact play before, and he said, "Oh, I can move. I can do anything. I can see anything. You could do everything to me," just to get like this mysterious vibe going on. And then I looked around my room, saw the soap bubbles, and just went to him and blew the soap bubbles onto his body and laughed for like 2 minutes straight. And I think it was just beautiful. Like, something funny.
Very cute. I would like to know how he reacted because, I mean, very cute story. I would love to see that drawn out. I think it would be a beautiful little comic or like little scene displayed. Really very sweet. But when I heard you could do anything to me, I guess maybe you said that it was to make things serious, right? And I'm not really sure what that means and what the tone was. But when people say that to me, it rubs me up the wrong way. I'm not sure why exactly. You could do anything to me, mistress. I guess it sounds a little bit like almost like a do something to me. And I'm like, that is not your suggestion to make. So yeah, and I'm hanging on to a part of the story that the story is not about because the submission was titled Bubbles. But yeah, the overarching thing I think that this person was trying to communicate was play, which is a wonderful, beautiful thing to talk about. And I am really grateful for having found the world of BDSM because it's taught me so much about play. And it's given me a space to express it and learn how to maneuver it and then bring it into my day-to-day more. And it's done this for many things, for communication, negotiation, for relationships, for relating, but we're going to talk about play. So I think in the case of the bubbles, it's about like playfulness, right? But I think overarchingly for me, BDSM has taught me that the camp can be glorious and that one moment can hold so many aspects of being that if you take it too seriously sometimes, it can implode upon itself. And I guess what I mean is that when I step into a scene and I'm utilizing these parts of my brain that could look very cruel outside of that space, outside of that negotiated space, but then like coming at it from an erotic angle and then saying something that's a little bit confusing. Like there's a lot of weird things that are conflicting, that are kind of going on. But because we have this container that's negotiated, it gives us like a freedom to like jumble all of this shit up and just see what could happen. And to me, that this is what play is. And when we're younger, we kind of naturally gravitate towards the make-believe, towards the crafted scenarios, towards the potential of not knowing. And we create things out of nothing, and we let our minds go to corners that are not immediately in front of us, so we think. But as we grow older and find responsibility and structure, the creativity can get a little bit sidelined and deprioritized. And I think that's where this container of sessions, of scenes within BDSM, it can give adults an opportunity to dive into even more intense parts of our potential within a little bit of a play context. So I love the playful nature of the bubbles, but I think when you say play to me in a BDSM context, it's taught me a lot more. It's given me a lot of opportunity. But I don't want to get strayed too far away from the bubbles, because I think it's also important, just as a general life thing, right? To feel that sense of lightness and the lightness of a bubble popping on the skin. It's just such an elegant little moment also. I think also the container of the session, of the stripping away, can, make that, the popping of the bubble, just that much more of an experiential thing as well. Yeah. It's a cute story. I really liked it. Thank you for sharing. It's inspired some interesting thoughts. But essentially, what else? What are the other sort of major things that I kind of got out of that? I guess the importance of play in BDSM is, and what is BDSM important for in general? I mean, this whole podcast goes into so many different aspects of it, but I think maybe I'll try to summarize the entirety of its importance and make that a little bit adjacent to the play concept. I think that, like I was describing, when we come into these negotiated spaces and we allow ourselves this potential of experience physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, it introduces possibility and it introduces ways of knowing ourselves and each other and the possibility and potential of that in such a creative, larger, or wide open version of how we're used to relating in this more concentrated, structured, sort of societally accepted way. And it can introduce us to the possibility of the breadth and depth of our humanity. And obviously, there's going to be people who play in a way that they're not going to think about this at all, but this is where my brain goes. It goes into me thinking, I didn't realize that I could say that. I didn't realize that I could react that quickly, that way. I didn't think that I could interact with this person in that kind of intimacy because of this pathway that I decided to suddenly release myself into. It's like a surrender to ourselves and to each other. And for me, it's taught me more about, and it's kept me more stimulated, to be frank, in terms of human interaction as well. I think just like polite niceties are just terrible for me. I'm very grateful for them on an everyday level in like a kindness sort of small exchange. But I think that when I want to spend time, I need greater depth, greater range. And BDSM has been very useful in order for me to do that and to just not get bored with myself or others, really. Also, this is all just about me not being bored. But yeah, super sweet story. I like the touch. I don't know if I like it when somebody says, you could do anything to me. Or maybe it's the tone. Maybe it's please understand that you could do anything to me that you wish, mistress. That's hotter to me. I like that one. Anybody who's interested in me, take notes. But the importance of play and the potential of creating a space that isn't taking our everyday structure into have to be account. I think that's what I call play. It doesn't have to just be light, which is a lovely thing to be able to experience, but play as a conduit for expressing and understanding the potential of our humanity. All out of a story called Bubbles. Look at that. Look at that. But that was cute. Thank you for sharing that lovely story. And thank you for listening. Speak to you next time.